All right. Welcome back to week 7 of our PMC League Challenge. Guys, if you are loving your favorite coach, the Shinryu Johan of the Shinryu Pikachus, hit that like button, demolish that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, also, while I'm on the topic of subscribing, to stay up to date on all the latest content, videos, and news I'm doing, follow me on Twitter and hit that bell next to the subscription button. You'll get an update as soon as I go ahead and drop a new match, team build, or anything along those lines relating to the PMC or anything else that I do. Also, before I go any further, please, if you have not followed our fellow coach of the Sydney Krookodiles, please go ahead, follow him and everybody else in the PMC. There are a lot of amazing battle people, more or less battlers, analysts, recappers. I mean, everybody puts in a lot of work for this. So go ahead, follow us, the PMC YouTube channel. That way you'll be caught up on everything PMC related. But let's go ahead and get into this. Now, Again, we won our week 4. Week 5, we didn't really do what we wanted to. Week 6, we did a lot better against the Great Lake Greninjas. And here we are, week 7 against the Sydney Krookodiles. Now, I don't want to spoil anything, but you can see we brought a completely different roster than, what we did last week. We brought one of our newcomers, X-Cloud. Our opponent brought Mega Sableye, Talonflame, Crocodile, Dreadledge, Aromatisse, and Yuxi. Now, the only one that I was really worried about on his team was the Crocodile. So, for that reason and that reason alone, we brought the Air Balloon Jolteon. Now, things, get a little tasty when you're trying to do that and you're trying to work around it, but you'll see that in a little bit. Again, let me go in and tell you what I brought. I brought Denonphan, Mega Charizard X, X-Cloud, Goodra, Jolteon, and Azumarill. Now, again, right now our record is, there's been 7 weeks, we won 2 fights out of that, so we are 2-5. It does not mean we're out, it does not mean we're down, it just means that, this is this is one of our first times out, and we got a pretty hard division. Nonetheless, we're getting dramatically better, guys, and we are going to give them hell each battle. Let's get into this. I've talked way too long. Now, this battle was a pretty decent battle. I mean, it's relatively long, a 28-turn battle, so I hope you guys got your popcorn set. Now, to start things off, he starts off with Yuxi, and I go ahead and start off with Denonphan. Now, it's pretty common thing, set up rocks. I knew he was going to do it. I said, hell, we're going to do the same thing too. So we set up rocks. So immediately, we both get rocks on the field. We both got rocks on the field. Now, he went to go ahead and knock off, which completely demolished our Custop area, which wasn't really a big deal for me because I wanted to get the rocks off the side of the field for me so that I can try to build up a little bit more momentum. But one thing that I did realize is that I did want to go ahead and get the knockoff, but I didn't bring that set this week for my Denonphan. So I decided to go into Azumarill. He's a psych type. I figured, he didn't want to really deal with too much of what we had. Now our switching becomes pretty much a free switch-in with him going into the Stealth Rocks, but he outsped us and went for the U-turn, so he really didn't want to see what this Azumarill was working with and deal with a play rough, which was a really, really smart move on his behalf, and he goes into Sableye. Now, at that point, I knew what was going to happen. I knew what was coming my way. I had already started the knockoff, which, sadly enough, wasn't going to do a lot of damage. It really made me go ahead and miss, because the last time I had to deal with a Ghostmon like this was with Bayonet. It made me miss Skuntank. So, I'm starting to miss him already. But he goes for the Will-O-Wisp already, and at this point, like I said, there was not much I can do. I didn't decide to pull him back, and we ended up getting the burnt Azumarill when we really needed him to stay unburnt, because if he had not been burnt, we probably would have killed with that. But still, a lot of damage. A lot of damage. So at that point, he's seeing that we're doing a lot of damage, and he decides, you know what, I need to get out of here, I need to go into something else. So he goes into Aromatisse to see if we're banded. I was like, okay, that's cool, that's a good idea, that's a real great idea. I'm going to play rough anyways, because I was banded, and that's fact, and we still did a clean good chunk. So Aromatisse is taking a good chunk of damage. I decide, you know what, before we go ahead and let this burn fatigue us anymore, let's get out of here, let's bring in our newcomer, X-Cloud. So X-Cloud takes some rocks damage, and he activates the Trick Room, which this really got a lot more momentum for him and shifted the tide of battle from my side to his side. So he goes to protect to see what I have. Figuring that I'm banded, I go for the boom burst. Stab is the best move I have, but I don't think we make it through this moon blast. No, we didn't. That moon blast was more than enough to murk us. So I decided to go into my fairy killer Gudra the God. So we take a little bit of damage, and he goes for the moon blast. Like I anticipated, but I know Gudra was going to go ahead and eat that. Now, he ate it just about as well as I thought he would, but I didn't think the special attack fall was going to happen. So that really hurt this right here with the sludge bomb. But we still end up getting the kill. So at this point, it's a tie game, 1-1. We got the crit, we got the sludge bomb. Romatisse is out of here. Now, Sableye comes back onto the field. And I knew exactly what was coming next. He was going to try to burn us to go ahead and get that extra damage. So I was like, I'm going to switch out, pull him back, and go into somebody else. Azumarill, who's already burned, making the Will-O-Wisp that he was going to do useless. Sadly, he did not go for it, so he probably could have kept Gudra in and killed right there. So that was, a mistake on my behalf. I over-predicted, which, again, it happens. It happens. So I go for the play rough again, trying to go ahead and get a lot of damage off, and it just didn't. So what it really becomes now is a recover fest. As he's recovering life back, I'm trying to deal out more damage to just kill him. That's what I'm trying to do at this point. Sadly, we just couldn't pull it. So I decided to go ahead and switch out and go into Jolteon. Now Jolteon touches the field. His air balloon's still ready to go. And at this point, he realizes what's going on. He sees that he's floating in the air with the air balloon, but he's still going for the recover. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball and see what we can do. He switches out, goes into Uxie again. So Uxie's going to take this. He's going to take this Shadow Ball completely. Stones go into him. Oh, it wasn't Shadow Ball. It's T-Bolt. Wow, I am. Whoa. And he's hugely special defensive. Like he ate that like it was nothing. And I think he actually got the majority of his life back just from the leftovers. Seeing that alone, just said, you know what, let's pull him back. Let's get him out. We got to get these rocks off our side of the field. So we go into the Donphan, and he goes into the knockoff, trying to get that balloon off of our Jolteon, but it just, not today. Not today. So the Donphan's, he's eating these attacks like a champ. Really, he is. I'm proud of him. But I know what's coming. He's going back into the Sableye, because that way I can't go ahead and get the stones off my side of the field. Now at this point, I decided I wasn't going to use it. I was just going to go for a stab move and go for the EQ. EQ does a nice chunk of damage, but not nearly enough. We said let's run it back again and see if we can go ahead and get him out of here. He starts the recover-a-thon again. I know you heard that. That was a refreshing beverage. I needed this. At this point, I decided let's pull back again. We're gonna try the Azumarill again. Now Azumarill takes more damage from stones. The recover goes in more effect, and I know we only have about a quarter of life left to do something. That burn kicks in, it gives us not even that. We have like 10% life left. He goes for the Shadow Sneak. He's out of there. So we lose our Azumarill. So that's 2 of our Mons down already as is right now. And I'm like, okay, we got to try to make this happen. We got to make something just go right now. So I'm like, we're in the air with our air balloon. Let's go ahead, go for the Shadow Ball. But he goes for the Shadow Sneaks first. So that's priority. We eat it, but our balloon pops, and we go for the V-Switch. The V-Switch does do a nice chunk of damage, but not nearly enough. So we go back into Gudra the God. And I'm like, all right, Gudra, you got to get this guy out of here. We're at a quarter of life again, the same scenario. He goes for the Shadow Sneak, not realizing that Gudra's going to take anything you throw at him. So Gudra eats that attack like it's nothing. Gooey kicks in, slows him down a little bit. We go for the Draco Meteor. Now that it's a full powered one, there was no way he was surviving it. This Draco Meteor here's like a ton of bricks. Mega Sableye is gone. So we got 2 Mons out already. One of our main threats, the burn factor, is gone. Now we have the big threat that we're worrying about. And if we can get through this wall, we can get this fight. But with the air balloon gone, I don't have too many things I can go ahead and take on this thing, especially with an EQ. So I'm like, you know what? Let's see if we can go ahead and clear the field up a little bit, at least survive 1 EQ to get the field cleared. And sure enough, We survived the one EQ relatively well, but he's scarfed. So another one comes off real quick, fast, and in a hurry. We get through it. We get the stones off the field. They're off the field. So at this point, we got a clean switch in the Zardex. So I'm like, all right, let's go ahead. Let's get out of here. He's going to do the EQ. He's scarfed into it. We should be able to go ahead and at least get a hit off. We switch. The Zard X bracelet activates. And moments like this make me wish I had Charizard Y. But we did not. The EQ happens and it hits us so hard that our Zard Y, our Zard X goes down. There's nothing we can do about it. He's done. The Moxie boost activates and it's just a massacre at this point. 3 turns left, we got 3 Mons left. Jolteon comes in and I'm like, Jolteon, if we can get a Shadow Ball off, we might be able to at least try to do something, to hit him power. We do not get it because at this point, like I said, with the air balloon gone, there's not much we can do. So Jolteon goes down, another Moxie boost in. So that's +2 already. He's scarfed, he's got a ton of EQs left to use. The non-fan can't soak anymore, but I'm like, you know what, we're going to give you a little bit more damage before we go down, because that's what we do. We fight. If you're going to take away, you're going to earn it. Takes him out right there, and that's it for the non-fan. Quick, easy, and done. And finally, we go into our last one that we have Guja the God. With the life that he has from the tiresome battle he had, he just couldn't pull it out. We take the EQ, and that's it, you know. We call him back to his Pokeball. There's not much we can do. But that's the battle. That's our week 7, guys. Again, I'm not down. A lot of people would say, Johan, man, you did a great battle, you know, but, you know, stay up. There's no need for that, because I believe this was a great battle. I mean, like, it was hard fought. We put a lot of strategy, a lot of time into thinking about what to do. We fell short. We couldn't get the one threat out before worrying about the second threat, and he knew that. He knew that if he kept Krookodile to the end, he'd be able to sweep, and that's what happened. So, you know, we made a mistake and ended up costing us a fight. That's what happens in this game of Pokemon. Nonetheless, guys, week 8, we go up against the Verd, and we have a heck of a strategy prepared for him. So, if you smell what he's barbecuing, go ahead and let him know we coming over and we trying to get a whole plate plus seconds to take home with us. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Heavy smash that like button, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.